It's raising questions about whether you'll need to prove you're vaccinated. New York just rolled out its vaccine passport program last week. People can use an app at large-scale venues like Madison Square Garden as evidence they've received their shots.
Health experts say it indeed could be a model used around the country to help ensure a safer reopening, but this has already become a political issue. NewsNation's Joe Khalil live in Washington, D.C. tonight for the very latest on the debate. Joe.
Yeah, Rob, this has real momentum behind it, these vaccination passports. The White House is already talking about it. Now, granted, they say, they're not going to be leading this effort. They want private industry to do that. They'd rather be sort of in the back seat offering guidance. But this has very quickly become one of these real controversial political wedge issues. Every day, more Americans are getting vaccinated, which means a gradual return to pre-pandemic habits.
And do little deals again.
Whether it's a return to the ballpark or a cross-country flight, getting back to normal may require proof.
That Americans, like people around the world who are vaccinated, will want to be able to demonstrate that vaccination in various forms.
The Biden administration says it may soon roll out guidelines for the private sector to develop vaccine passports. Essentially, a credential proving someone's been fully vaccinated that may allow them access to travel or to public spaces and events that unvaccinated people won't have access to. The issue is already becoming a partisan fight.
It's completely unacceptable for either the government or the private sector to impose upon you the requirement that you show proof of vaccine to just simply be able to participate in normal society.
Florida Governor, Republican Ron DeSantis, says he'll issue an order banning companies from requiring vaccine passports.
Well, this is Democrats' new idea on how to control you and how to control what you're allowed to do.
Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says the idea is a way to force people to become vaccinated in a video she posted to Facebook. Although vaccines are not mandatory, she released a bill Thursday to ban vaccine passports. And Republican Senator Rand Paul tweeted, quote, "If you think voter ID is racist, but a vaccine passport is just fine, you need some serious help thinking through public policy." Meantime, tourism-dependent Hawaii is exploring making vaccine passports mandatory for travel among the state's islands. While lawmakers may be divided over the idea, it has support in the private sector, especially in the travel industry.
I think most people want to travel and they don't care if they have to show one more ID.
A coalition of airline associations wrote a letter addressed to the White House urging the U.S. government to lead the effort.
Green check, you're good to go.
Paul Meyer, founder of the Commons Project, an organization that helps people maintain and store their own medical information, says a vaccine passport would be an important global step toward normalcy.
Most schools in the country require you to produce your kids' vaccination, something that we've been doing for decades.
Meyer says a passport wouldn't store personal data or medical records. It would only provide a yes or no verification that the traveler was vaccinated.
Red light, green light. But no health information is centralized. No information is conveyed to either a government, to an airline.
White House officials say there's no set timeline for when guidelines on a vaccination passport will come out. Now, guys, we've been talking about this in the context of the United States, but the company that may end up making these passports say they've been in touch with governments from other countries as well, companies from around the globe. The pandemic itself was a worldwide challenge, and some people who support this say this may be at least a temporary global solution to start to transition back to normal. Reporting live tonight in Washington, D.C., Joe Khalil, NewsNation.